have moderate to severe Crohn's disease? Skyrizi is the first and only IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver clinical remission and endoscopic improvement.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Control of Crohn's means everything to me. Ask your gastroenterologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Tomorrow on ET, our Jerry Halliwell exclusive talking about the Spice Girls' future and their wild past with NSYNC.
No way.
Happening now.
Monday afternoon with activity on the radar screen. We'll take a close look at that, along with better rain chances later in the week and some cooler air headed our way. See you in a bit.
Terrorized neighbors who say they fear for their safety right here on their own street. Coming up, their concerns and how they remember the victim of a vicious dog attack.
A crisis averted. The government shutdown has been avoided, but now House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's job is on the line. Why it may take Democrats to save him. The News at 5 starts right now. First at 5, it is October, and it's starting to feel a little bit more like fall. Right now, it's overcast with great puffy clouds in the sky and a breeze as well.
Yeah, Adam, so far today's been a welcome break from the blazing sun, the heat we've been dealing with for the last few months. You know, it'd be even better if there was widespread rain falling.
Patience for the widespread rain. I do think that's in the forecast and in our fortune in the days ahead. But let's take a look at the radar currently. Most of the action so far this afternoon has been south of San Antonio, especially Atascosa County, up and down the I-37 corridor here. Now it's starting to creep into southern Bexar County, and even on the north side of town, we have some light sprinkles. Most of this is very light in nature. The type where you need the intermittent setting on your windshield wipers. Not a whole lot with this. It's not going to add up to a whole lot. It is showing signs of dissipating. Some heavier activity farther to the west, especially Real County and Lakey, switching radar sites to get a better look at that. And this is where we actually have some lightning strikes. So Lakey actually cashing in on some good rain between Camp Wood and Lakey. Some heavy rainfall getting in the way of some travel here along Highway 83 just south of Lakey, between Lakey and Happy Hollow. Nonetheless, some good soaking rain for parts of our area. And overall, we do anticipate better rain chances later on this week. Let's take a look at temperatures out there right now. It's nice to have these clouds for a change in the afternoon. 95 in Del Rio, 85 Leon Springs, 87 in Floresville. Very few 90s on the map right now. 91 in New Braunfels, 82 in Mico, and Windcrest, 86 degrees. Now we'll have some of these very light showers around Bexar County coming and going through about 8 o'clock, and then it's all over with. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. 10 o'clock, 84 degrees. By midnight, we're 81. We have a real cold front to talk about this time. We'll talk about how temperatures are going to be impacted later this week, when they fall, and our best shot at rain and how much in just a bit, Steve.
With those clouds out there, though, I just want them to open up over my house, Adam.
They're teasing.
Yeah. New at 5, a community horrified by a gruesome dog attack that happened almost a month ago. Today, residents in that neighborhood now mourning the loss of the 47-year-old man who was mauled in his own backyard.
Our Jonathan Goto tells us how this man is being remembered, but also why some who live near him on the city's northeast side say this attack is not really surprising.
Today, a black flag is flown in memory of Paul Anthony Striegel Jr.'s memory. It was placed out this morning by his friend and roommate Chuck.
I loved him like he was my own son. We did everything together. We'd go fishing, we'd go motorcycle riding.
Striegel was the 47-year-old man attacked by two dogs as he sat in his backyard at this home on the city's northeast side on September 5th.
It was devastating to me.
His roommate Chuck says he was the first person to see it all happening.
I can't get that picture out of my head. And there were both dogs in my yard. They came under the fence and attacked my buddy right there at that chair. So both dogs were...
Chuck says just before the incident that ultimately killed his friend, the trailer park's new management passed out new rules.
Specifies no vicious dog breeds.
Although Chuck says they never encountered any problems with the dogs before, there could have been a way to possibly prevent the tragedy.
These fences are 50 years old. Nobody's ever tried to repair them, mend them, pin them down, or anything. I go down this road, I got to watch for dogs that come out from under cars.
There's always vicious dogs running up and down the street. Nobody does anything about it.
Martin says Striegel was a good friend of his and adds he's had his share of confrontations with dogs as well.
Well, I got bit by one dog over there at the second house to your right.
Striegel was bitten on both arms and the stomach, causing serious injuries. He died at Brooke Army Medical Center on Sunday, almost a month after the attack.
My friend Paul was the toughest little man you'd ever want to meet in your life. He was a tough little man.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
So we reached out to ACS, who says they've received a total of 7 calls so far this year regarding dogs just on Heidelberg Street alone. Just minutes ago, SAPD and ACS released a joint statement on this case. It says, quote, "Our deepest condolences are with the Striegel family and anyone affected by this tragedy. The dog that attacked Mr. Striegel was euthanized following an investigation by Animal Care Services. 3 criminal citations against the owner remain to be prosecuted in municipal court. SAPD's homicide unit also conducted a thorough investigation and no further criminal charges are expected. This tragic case highlights the importance of daily responsible pet ownership. We are asking local pet owners to do their part by checking fences and gates regularly and keeping them in good repair." End quote.
Bloodshed outside of a Southwest Side apartment complex with residents looking on. By the time police got there, the victim was lying on the ground dying. There were multiple calls for the shooting just after midnight, with people sending officers to the Westway apartment complex in the 5600 block of Caliber Road near Callahan Road. The 55-year-old victim did not respond to any efforts by first responders and ended up dying at the scene. An officer who was there tells us witnesses saw 2 men in hoodies running away from the complex after the shooting. No arrests have been made. Police are still investigating this shooting.
Another man dead after he's ejected from his truck during a crash on South Flores Street. That's according to police. It happened last night on South Flores Street near East Gerald Avenue on the southeast side. Officers say the driver of the blue truck that you see pulled out in front of another pickup and the 2 vehicles collided. Police say the driver of the blue truck was thrown out of his vehicle and died at the scene. His name has not been released. The driver of the other truck was not injured. Across America now, former President Donald Trump's civil fraud trial in New York is underway. Cameras were allowed briefly inside the courtroom before the judge banned them. While outside the courtroom, Trump called the trial, quote, "a scam and a sham," end quote. New York's Attorney General seeking $250 million in the case against Trump, his eldest sons, and their companies. They're accused of significantly inflating the value of their properties to banks and insurers for years. Last week, a state Supreme Court judge found Trump and his co-defendants are liable. This trial will determine the amount of damages owed. That trial expected to last until December 22nd.
A settlement has been reportedly reached in the wrongful death lawsuit of a South Carolina bride who was killed on her wedding night in a crash. Back in April, Jamie Lee Komorowski drove her car into a golf cart that the bride and the groom were riding in. With his bride dead, the groom filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Komorowski and multiple restaurants that the driver had visited throughout the day before the crash. The pending settlement is between him and 2 of those businesses.
The latest showdown on Capitol Hill between House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and some hardline Republicans. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz vowing to try and remove McCarthy as Speaker this week, saying if he fails the first time, he'll try again and again.
ABC's M. Nguyen with McCarthy's response and why he says he's focused on keeping the government open instead of survival.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy facing his most direct challenge to his leadership by one of his harshest critics from within his own Republican Party.
I'm going to be doing it this week.
Florida Representative Matt Gaetz vowing to file a motion to vacate against McCarthy this week, which would start the process in the House to remove him as Speaker. Gates saying if he fails to remove McCarthy the first time, he will try and try again.
It took Speaker McCarthy 15 votes to become the Speaker, so until I get to 14 or 15, I don't think I'm being any more dilatory than he was.
After being unable to reach a deal with far-right Republicans, McCarthy offered a short-term spending deal running through mid-November that drew more support from Democrats than Republicans in order to avoid a shutdown that would have forced millions of military service members and other federal employees to work without pay. If McCarthy loses more than 4 GOP votes in an effort to remove him as House Leader, he'd need to rely on Democratic votes to remain as Speaker, something they appear reluctant to do.
It's not up to Democrats to save Republicans from themselves.
Today, McCarthy brushed off threats to his speakership.
I don't worry about that. I've got a short time period here, about 45 days to get our work done. That's my entire focus.
The White House urging Congress to prioritize adding funding for Ukraine, which was not in the short-term bill.
Let's not forget what the purpose of this is for. This is for to see the continuation of the brave people in Ukraine to fight for their freedom, right? To fight for their democracy.
If Gates files a motion to remove the Speaker, the House would be forced to consider it within 2 days. It would then take a simple majority to remove McCarthy from his post, meaning him remaining as Speaker may all come down to Democrats. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Check out TransGuide right now. We're going to go kind of north and east a little bit. This is I-35 at Loop 410. I believe we're looking at the northbound lanes, and you can see it is very slow going. No major traffic accidents to tell you about, but you see 410 kind of looping around underneath where it meets up with 35. Always a slowdown here.
Some local high school students are flying higher with a pilot program that will get them licensed to fly drones. Somerset ISD offering this remote pilot certification and flight training course. It's hands-on teaching where students use professional-grade drones, and it's free to the students. The D. Howard Foundation funds the teachers' training as well as the students' curriculum and hardware. An FAA commercial drone license is a good ticket to quite a few good jobs.
They have to learn their safety checklists and go through things because the drone could cause damage. It could hurt people if they're not careful, or you could lose a valuable piece of equipment.
So by the end of this year, these students taking the course could earn their commercial drone license, qualifying them for a number of career paths. Still ahead, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The lifestyle changes researchers say could significantly keep cancer from coming back.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. The families of 2 murdered young men found a head-turning way to get the word out about their cases, and now they're upping the reward. How much money people have helped them raise so far. Plus, San Antonio is Military City, USA, home to thousands of active duty members and veterans. Coming up at 6, we'll show you how the Wounded Warrior Project is helping local families and how you can get involved in that effort this weekend. All that and more today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. How would you like to reduce your risk of breast cancer by nearly 60%? It could happen if you follow new breast cancer study findings just out. Justin Finch has reports on just how much more you can protect yourself from breast cancer or the return of breast cancer with some simple, healthy habits.
Healthy habits after diagnosis may A new study published in JAMA found a 37% less chance of breast cancer returning and a 58% less chance of death for women who followed cancer prevention guidelines after diagnosis. The researchers followed more than 1,300 women diagnosed with high-risk breast cancer, documenting things like exercise, weight and height, and fruits and vegetables in the diet of survivors. They also noted the women who drank alcohol, smoked cigarettes, and consumed processed meat and sugary drinks. Breast cancer survivors could use these guidelines to increase their years in remission and improve their chances of survival. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
Meanwhile, here at home, Bexar County leaders doing their part to raise breast cancer awareness this October. The county tax assessor collector, Albert Uresti, invited survivors and other county employees to raise a courage flag to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The pink courage flag will fly under the American flag for the rest of the month as a reminder to support those fighting cancer and to help those searching for a cure. This cause also personal for Uresti, his wife, a breast cancer survivor. He says the flag will fly to serve as a reminder to everyone fighting cancer they are not alone.
Breast cancer is something that can have, very severe effects on not only the person that gets it, but on the entire family. So anything that we can do to bring awareness to our citizens is important to us.
A pink courage flag will fly at both Bexar County tax offices through the end of the month.
You can look at the picture, but you just can't believe it. It's not 90 degrees. It's much lower, and it's only going to get better this week.
But doesn't it look like it wants to rain?
Yes.
It does. It is raining in some spots.
Just not here.
It's a tease today.
It is.
It's a tease and a bit of an appetizer of what's to come for later this week. It's an amuse-bouche of weather, yes. Only reason I know that saying is because of Top Chef, the days when I was watching Top Chef.
I was going to say bless you.
An amuse-bouche. Bless you.
Bless you.
Gesundheit?
I don't know.
Let's talk temperature drop at the front. That's the big story here. Yes, we're likely to have some good rain, but look at our temperature trend, something we haven't seen in quite some time. A downward trend all week. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for highs by Thursday and Friday. So the current temperature out there is as warm as it's going to get Thursday and Friday. Then this weekend, we drop into the 70s for afternoon high temperatures. That's the warmest it'll get. So let's talk about the rain out there right now. Bit of activity. It's very light in and around San Antonio. Sprinkles, very light showers moving into downtown area and just east of downtown on the east side within 410 here. This is brief. A few embedded heavier showers, but still, those are very brief and highly isolated and the rare exception. Some heavy rain along I-35 between Devine and Pearsall down toward the Bigfoot area. And then some good soaking rain down I-37 before you get to George West, northern Live Oak County, McMullen County as well, northern McMullen County. It's good to see that heavier rain. We need it. We need it everywhere. And then the hill country scene, just a little bit of activity in place to place, but especially Riall County near Camp Wood. We still have that good soaking rain. In terms of accumulations, you see most of it south and west of San Antonio. And the big bullseye in the real winners today in terms of the rainfall accumulations, this yellow area indicating a minimum of 2 inches of rain. Look at this, just south of Charlotte in Atascosa County, 2.9 inches estimated. Get into McMullen County, 2.6 inches estimated. It's nice to see this, but I do think those kind of readings will be more widespread and more common later on this week. So let's talk about it. Let's just jump right into our rain chances here. Tomorrow, a 30% chance, Wednesday, 40%, so isolated to scattered the next couple of days. What we're focusing on is Thursday. That's when the cold front hits, and it's going to be a slow-moving cold front prolonging our rainfall potential and how long it can actually rain outside. Here's the big setup. Big trough in the west. Good, beautiful trough. That's going to be digging into Texas and helping to stir things up. The upper level high, the blue H, will settle southward. And actually, this is going to help pull in some Pacific moisture in the days ahead. We're going to fast forward our future cast to Thursday. Next couple of days, more of the same, just some pop-up hit or miss, brief showers and thunderstorms, nothing severe. And Thursday, right now, we're not expecting anything severe. Just some off and on or intermittent showers and storms coming and going through South and Central Texas throughout the day. It's not going to be raining in your location all day on Thursday, but odds are good that you will get hit with rain, and odds are decent that we'll see widespread accumulations, common numbers of over an inch of rainfall throughout the day, basically from Wednesday night all the way into Thursday night. And then by Friday, it all pushes farther south down in the valley. Let's talk temperatures. 92 are high today, so we still have our streak of 90-degree days. But as I showed you before, that's going to be coming to an end later on this week. 88, the high temperature in Kerrville and Fredericksburg. 86, the high temperature in Cotulla. Now we start the day tomorrow at 76. Make it back to 92 for the high temperature. That 30% chance of a few showers. We could even see some light rain in the morning and midday, a 20% chance of that. But low 90s for high temperatures, some upper 80s in the hill country. Stone Oak and Converse 91 tomorrow. Castroville and Von Army at 92. We're all looking forward to the weekend. Mornings dipping down into the upper 50s by Sunday and low humidity by late Friday through the weekend.
Wow, that's not a typo. Thank you.
All right, so I'm guessing this is probably as much interest as we've seen in a Spurs media day in quite some time.
I can't remember it being this packed for quite some time when the Spurs are back winning NBA championships. So now they have Victor Wembanyama. There was a lot of media today at Spurs Media Day. Coming up with Wemby Edition, what does that mean to the Spurs starting lineup? We got it coming up.
Ever since I've been in San Antonio, I've gained 10, 15 pounds. So I'm trying to start there. I'm trying to not add too much too quick.
Wemby is bulking up a little bit as he preps for his first season in the NBA and Big Board Sports. All right, check out the row of cameras at Spurs Media Day this morning at their practice facility off of Huebner Road. Coach Pop, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins, and Victor Wembanyama all met with reporters. Now, the hype around the team this year is heightened due to Wemby and all that he brings to the table. And check out that video clip. That's a dynamic foursome right there. So what does the addition of Wemby mean for the Spurs starting lineup? KSAT 12 Sports' Mary Rominger has more from Media Day.
The road to the 2023 NBA season is heating up fast, and it starts with Spurs Media Day. Now, everyone is curious of how French phenom Victor Wembanyama is developing coming into the season and how exactly the Spurs starting five will look with Wembanyama in the mix. Luckily for the Spurs, they have a young roster that is very versatile.
I know I can bring some help to this team, and the best way for me to help it, and it's to not put me in a box, I think. So we know we're going to make something original, something special.
We're a team that can switch, maybe 1 through 3, some games 1 through 4, and that helps. So I think as long as we take pride on defense, we'll be all right.
We're not exactly sure at the moment how they're going to fit, what the rotations should be, who should start or come off the bench. And if Manu Ginobili can come off the bench, anybody can, and I don't want to hear it.
Next for the Spurs is the start of training camp. Then this Saturday is a team scrimmage all before preseason begins October 9th on Monday. So get ready, San Antonio Spurs fans, because the Wemby effect is just getting started. From the Spurs practice facility, Mary Rominger, KSAT 12 Sports. Back to you.
Thank you, Mary. And how about this? Spurs guard Devin Vassell has agreed to a 5-year, $146 million contract extension per the Woj. The 23-year-old was drafted 11th overall by the Spurs in 2020. And coming up tonight at 6, KSAT 12 Sports' Nick Mantis will break down how the rest of the team is feeling with all this new energy surrounding the Spurs this season.
Do you think Vassell wore his hair up so he didn't look quite so short next to Wemby?
Could be a good point. We need to ask him about that.
6'6", 6'8" with the hair?
Yeah.
Like Fletch?
It could be.
Maybe?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Way back reference.
Yes, way back.
I got it. We'll be right back.
Some light rain across parts of San Antonio. I stress light, all this light green here. It's good, better than nothing. It's just not going to add up to much. We have better chances later this week with a cold front. We'll see you at 6 to talk about it.